What's going on, everybody? Nick Gaschler, and today we're going to be taking a look at Sauce Gardner, the Cincinnati cornerback, and lately he's been getting a lot of top 5 hype. I don't hate it. I'm not necessarily on board with it, but I definitely don't hate it, and I think he probably will be the first cornerback off the board. In my opinion, I think Derek Stingley's a little bit better, but what Sauce Gardner offers in terms of skill set is very valuable. He's a press man, lockdown corner who's 6'3" and has long ass arms that's going to press anybody in his path. And I have 9 plays laid out, so we're just going to take a look at those. I think that gets us a good picture of Sauce Gardner. So let's get right into it. And like I said, Sauce Gardner is a primarily zone coverage cornerback, and we're watching USF here. But here he goes zone. I meant man coverage. Excuse me. He's a primarily man coverage cornerback, but he comes into a little bit of plays, a little bit of zone here, right? How do we know that? Well, we have 2 guys high, potentially 3. If I believe that's Kobe Bryant right there is going to come up and play 3 high, so that's cover 3. Gardner has his eyes on the cornerback rather than the man, and he allows this receiver to kind of not to float past him. He lets him out of his zone, right? His hard deck is probably right here-ish, and he's going to be able to let him out. And then at the same time, he's reading the quarterback's eyes. He sees this receiver coming, and what he does a really good job of is using his instincts to get up on there and try and make an effect on the play, right? Once he sees where the quarterback's going with his eyes, the quarterback hasn't even thrown yet, right? He still has the ball in his hands. Once he sees that, he's going to be able to take advantage of that, get up and use his length to contest this pass. And I think that's what Sauce Gardner does best. He's able to use his instincts and then get up in there, play physical, and is able to contest passes like that. I love the plays like that. He's able to, I believe, cause an incompletion here. We might have to look at the wide view, but again, especially on a free play like this, Majai Sanders right here jumps off sides, but especially on a free play like this, Sauce Gardner being able to kind of break up the ball. I don't think he actually got the break up right there, but still does a really good job at least being able to contest it and be right there to limit yards after catch, right? And especially also being able to play zone and man. He can do both, although he is better at man. One of the best things I think Sauce Gardner does is staying patient. We'll see other examples of this later on in the film session, but this is a good example of it, right? We're going to see Sauce Gardner at the top of your screen. Watch how he keeps his hips square to the line of scrimmage, right? The line of scrimmage is the parallel line that comes across the field like that. His hips are parallel to that line. They're not going to turn too early or turn too late. They're just going to stick right there, and once this receiver makes a stick on a hitch, he doesn't even need to turn his hips. He's just going to plant right there and be ready to make a play on the ball if it comes to him. Really good job right there. And then he also gets hands-on to make sure that he feels if this receiver is working any double move, which he ends up doing. Gardner is able to turn his hips and then get right up to the corner, or right up to the receiver, and be able to be in a place to contest the ball if it comes to him. And the ball skills come in really handy here because he's right there to make that interception. Is able to use his length and size to get up and make it, especially on a bad throw like that. Sauce Gardner does an excellent job of being able to keep his eyes on the quarterback, like I said a couple times, and be able to come up, and when passes go errant like that, he's able to come up and make a big play like that. You see him do that a lot in his tape. I think the majority of his interceptions this year came from plays like this, and that really just shows a good awareness and IQ, as well as ball skills. I really liked this play. And as defensive backs in press man coverage, our number one goal is to be able to reroute the receiver and slow him down. If you allow a receiver a free release by not using your hands and playing with sloppy technique, you risk having the receiver being able to run super big routes and create separation. When we break down receivers, Traylon Burks and Drake London, we talked about how those guys don't get enough separation. There are good separators in this class who are going to be able to take advantage of free releases and get out into the open field and be able to make plays like that. Sauce Gardner is not a defensive back that lets that happen. We're going to see why here. As soon as this receiver tries to work a move to get off, Sauce Gardner is going to extend and use his length. That's a really good thing to be able to watch for, and his long arms are going to be able to help him do that. And he's just going to reroute his receiver, right? Just that simple push at the beginning is going to be able to reroute that receiver. He's trying to go up and out, but Sauce Gardner is going to be able to keep pushing him out to here and then keep his body in front of the receiver, if you get what I'm saying, to keep his body in front of the receiver to limit that release and limit that route. And he's going to be able to keep good leverage with him throughout the whole route and being able to limit that separation ability. We don't see him separate too much until that break, in which Gardner is able to come up and recover really well. Sauce Gardner, when there is a break or there is some sort of double move that he gets worked, he's very good at being able to recover and get back into position and make a play in that guy's hip pocket. Everything about this rep from a press man coverage perspective is beautiful. Good footwork. He keeps his feet with his hands. A lot of cornerbacks you see a lot of times are going to extend their hands and try and press, but not bring their feet with them, and the receivers are just able to shuck the hands and get off and create separation. Sauce Gardner brings his feet with him. He brings his hips. We see his hips are again parallel to the line of scrimmage until the receiver makes a move upfield. And I mean, perfect technique all around. You're not going to find much better technique than that from Sauce Gardner. Good play right there. Right, and a couple things we've already talked about is how Sauce Gardner is able to stay patient and how he's able to recover. These are two key traits that come in handy, especially against this play. And now we're playing Bama. This is big-time competition right here. This isn't USF. This is Jamison Williams, who I've used in my examples for corners before on Darian Kendrick. I think Jamison Williams is a great example of a good player that you have to cover because he's quick, he's fast, and he's shifty. Those things can throw corners off, and it makes it a tough matchup for them of being able to shut them down. I think Sauce Gardner did a pretty good job doing that in this game. Let's check this play out, right? He's going to be right at the bottom of your screen. We're going to see Jamison Williams is going to try and sell him on a fake. Gardner doesn't buy it. He's going to be able to stay true the entire time. Watch, his hips are not perpendicular. They're parallel the entire time to the line of scrimmage up until Jamison Williams makes his move inside, in which case Gardner is able to move his hips there too. He stays patient. A corner that is not as skilled as Sauce Gardner would see that Jamison Williams is potentially going outside and flip his hips outside all the way, which allows Williams to be able to make that fake move inside and get there. That doesn't happen with Gardner, and he's able to recover as well. Because Williams is just so quick and naturally fast, he's going to gain that separation, but Gardner is able to get his hands on and then stay with him throughout the route until the break. He's even starting to recover up on the break until he sees Bryce Young going, and he's going to be able to come in and work to make a play. Sauce Gardner is not a fantastic tackler. He's not going to be a fantastic run supporter, but he's functional and he's willing to do it. But the key thing to take away from him here is a really good technique and coverage again. Even though that's not press man putting your hands on the guy, that is still man coverage, and he does a very good job of holding on and being able to recover well. And again, Sauce Gardner is not going to be a fantastic run supporter, but what he does do well is reading the play and then being able to at least come up and be willing to make a tackle, right? So he's going to read the play. It's going to just be a little running back screen, I believe. To number 6, Trey Sanders, I believe. He's going to be able to just get the ball out. He's going to read really quickly that number 6 is getting the ball here and is going to be able to come up to make a play. Since he is the only guy in the area, he's going to be anticipating an open field tackle, but he does a great job working angles, right? As a corner, we want to work outside in. So we want to work first from the outside to push that ball carrier inside to the rest of his defense. That's where 10 other guys are on the field, and that's where you have a higher chance of limiting the gains of this wide receiver. He does a good job of working outside in, scalping when he gets up to it, and then being able to at least come in and make it. He's not a fantastic tackler, right? He doesn't end up coming through and making a big tackle here, but he does a good enough job. He's a skinny guy, and I can't rely on him to make plays all the time, but he's definitely willing there and not terrible in that sense of being able to read the play and be able to react to it well. Solid play from Sauce Gardner. Right, and even in off-man coverage, we see the ability to Sauce Gardner to be very good here. We're going to watch him on the top of your screen here. He's just going to be able to run back with him. I think he's potentially playing his own concept, because usually when your hips are turned to the back of the sideline, you're playing his own concept. He may not be, though. But what he does a good job of is being able to stop and then be able to turn his hips back to parallel right here when this receiver comes up right here to potentially then turn his hips back out this way when he goes up there. He slips a little bit. I think that's Williams. He slips a little bit, and Sauce catches onto it, which allows Williams to kind of get a little bit of separation. But again, we see Sauce being able to use his hands to slow him down, reroute him, and then stay with him. And then he's able to recover right there and get in Williams' face to create a pass breakup. That's good coverage from Sauce Gardner. Even though it's not perfect, he recovered well, and at the end of the day, that pass wasn't completed. That's all I care about. It may not be pretty how you get there, but as long as you can get there, we don't have a problem, which is exactly what happens on this play, and it was a good job from Sauce Gardner. And this is a great play against Jamison Williams at the top of your screen. This is probably midway through the third quarter. Williams has kind of realized by now that Sauce Gardner is very good at what he does. And we see it at the opening where Jamison Williams doesn't kind of really know where to go with his release. What Sauce Gardner does a good job of is, again, staying patient, keeping his hips parallel to the line of scrimmage, and then once he makes some moves, turning with him. Williams is a high-speed guy. Sauce Gardner has the speed to keep up with him, as well as being able to put his arm on that shoulder pad and kind of slow him down a little bit. Especially when he feels out that route. Once Williams starts to chop his feet and try and turn for that comeback or that curl route, Sauce Gardner does the exact same thing. He's able to stick with him and be right there in his hip pocket in case the ball comes to him. That's excellent coverage. Limits the separation that a natural separator like Jamison Williams can get, and does a great job as a whole here. I love this play from Sauce Gardner. And ending with what he was meant to do as a cornerback, Sauce Gardner at the top of your screen. He just jams him, right? I mean, this is peak Sauce Gardner football. He just does not let him run a route. He gets his hands on early, and he's going to keep his hands on even when this receiver tries to push him off. He gets them right back on and is able to use his length to control this rep and move him upfield and push him towards the sideline where he can't really run a route. I think this is a freshman or sophomore receiver for Alabama, number 7. So he's not amazing yet, but Sauce Gardner definitely does a good job of being able to be the vet and being able to push him out of bounds. This is a great reason why he hasn't allowed a touchdown in his college career, because he's so physical at the point of attack that he's just going to press anybody he sees, and he does a very good job of that. A really good technique. Again, his footwork. He keeps his feet moving throughout the duration of the rep and is able to stick with number 7. Good play. Right. So if your name is Sauce, you better be a damn good cornerback or be damn good at whatever you do. And luckily for Sauce Gardner, he is damn good at what he does. He's a great man coverage cornerback, and he can do other things, but what you're drafting him for is to be a shutdown cornerback. He's going to be on an island on whatever side of the field guarding whoever's number 1 wide receiver it might be. He's a very good corner. He's deserving of a top 10 pick, and I think, in my opinion, he's a blue chip recruit. He's a blue chip player for me. I like Stingley a lot, and I know the media and the NFL doesn't seem to because of the injuries and whatnot, and I get that, but personally, I think he's more well-rounded, but Sauce Gardner is better in his niche category of man coverage, which is a very valuable category to have, don't get me wrong. I think his athleticism is good. I think his length and size to just give him a natural-born advantage as a press man coverage corner. And I think he's going to be a successful cornerback on the next level. That's just the bottom line, right? I could show you as many plays as I want, but it's pretty much all the same, right? He's just such a good corner that's going to be so good for a long time, and I really hope I'm rooting for his success. So if you enjoyed this video, it was just a short one. I just want to break down a really good corner for you. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure to follow at GDN_scouting on Instagram for more draft content and scouting reports. I have a full scouting report out on Sauce Gardner as well. So make sure you go follow that. The link will be in the description. So again, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.